What's up, everybody? It's the Sport Aces podcast here. I'm Chris Ortega. Tom Butcher here today. Tom, I ain't gonna lie, we missed you last week, but it was pretty interesting having that conversation about the playoffs because, man, this weekend was pretty interesting with these games. But
Say the
how was
least.
your weekend, man?
Pretty good. I had a busy weekend. Did a lot of stuff, a couple parties. Obviously, I watched football games, so that was fun.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, how about you, man?
I had a chill weekend, man. Chill weekend, watch some football on Sunday, Saturday, reading books, doing something productive,
I feel you.
Not too
Yeah,
crazy, not too crazy, man. But man, these NFL playoffs, man. First off, Friday got the news that I didn't like, which was Cowboys hiring Brian Schottenheimer. Um, for the people who don't know who Brian Schottenheimer is, he was our offensive coordinator this past season. If you didn't know he was our offensive coordinator this past season, I completely understand why. But he was in the hard knocks for the New York Jets. Was it the 2010 season when they did hard knocks with the Jets?
yeah.
And Mark Sanchez, he was the guy that was in there.
Oh
He was
nine
the
or
host.
2010, one of
Yeah,
those
he was the
years.
offensive coordinator under Rex Ryan. So a little bit known history there. I know we have Matt Eberflus. That's what his name.
Eberflus, yeah.
Eberflus as our new defensive coordinator. So right now, are we
Interesting.
looking? I'm gonna be honest. We have a coaching staff full of yes men. I'd be surprised if we really be a playoff team next season. I will be very surprised because my expectations is very low this upcoming year with everything that's been going on. Dak is about to have a $90 million salary cap hit. It don't make sense. But, they did his introductory press conference today. Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones' son, trying to be like, well, we need to get out this drought. You guys are the problem. But that's here no there. That's here no there though. But we did get the Jets head coach Aaron Glenn. How you felt about that, Tom?
I think that's the signing we needed. Former player. He knows what it's like to be, in a good Jets culture. I feel like he can reset, and obviously he's very. I mean, a lot of Jets players and former personnel are excited to have him here. The only issue I see is he wants to keep Rodgers for another year, which I don't know how some of our players, especially Garrett Wilson, are going to feel about that. But hopefully, it goes well for us. I'm excited. I mean, at this point, yeah, we needed a new coach. I think Aaron Glenn's the right man for the job. I mean, unfortunately, he's a defensive guy, but I feel like after this past season, we definitely need one in there because our defense they had some problems, to say the least. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited, and we also got a new GM too, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, I think uh, just for y'all personally, I think it's just interesting how it's going to play out because it's just because keeping Aaron Rodgers for another year, meaning y'all might possibly draft a quarterback in this draft now. I think that's probably the ideal set, most
There's
likely.
a lot of good ones, man.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the ideal behind it. I mean, Garrett Wilson, it's they gotta find a way to keep him
Keep him.
happy.
Yeah,
They gotta find a way to keep him happy because, you know, he's a Pro Bowl receiver. It's a Pro Bowl receiver that need a quarterback, like consistent quarterback play. And when receivers not feeling like they're having consistent quarterback play with a team, they're gonna want to leave and go to a team that has that. I mean, he ain't like Justin Jefferson where he can, you know, still make it work, but you know, everything's gonna get better. But Aaron Glenn got high expectations for the team. I think he could definitely set a new culture there overall.
that's what we need, man.
Indeed, man. But Man, this playoffs, man, this past weekend, man. Sunday was a pretty crazy day, man. I mean, we start to see a lot of teams seeing who stands out and start to see like some narratives now being thrown out there. We can start off with the Eagles and Commanders game. Um, I know last episode, I know majority of us, I mean, I love the storybook uh, of the Commanders, but from this matchup, you could tell they was really outplayed from the start of the game. You could tell the Eagles knew what they was doing.
Yeah, I mean, also three turnovers doesn't help. I mean, they had a chance like late third where they got to stop. They were down 11 and they were driving, and then Eckler had that fumble and that completely derailed everything. And then the Eagles went
And
on to score
then
20.
McNichols fumbled as well. Yeah, like it was just a lot of things that was just going bad for them where like they was making it a game and then it was just like,
I mean, if they had scored on that drive where Eckler fumbled, they would have only been down probably three or four. And then, I mean, they just stopped the Eagles. So, I mean, who knows the momentum would have shifted or not. I mean, it's the same story as the Commanders Lions game, turnovers, everything. And the Eagles were perfect. They didn't turn the ball over. That's all it takes, man. Turnover free. And you'll have a good chance of winning if you don't turn the ball over.
Jalen Hurts throwing for almost 250 passing yards. Um, Saquon getting 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Both
Jalen
of them
Hurts
have to.
add another 3 touchdowns to it. Then Will Shipley came in, made a monster run in the fourth quarter, and then got him a touchdown. So it
That
was
just
just
shows how
so
good the O line is, man.
it's just crazy, man. But oh, I hope Kenneth Gainwell gets better. But for my tickets, I'm sorry that he ruined my tickets. Who would have thought a concussion would happen in the game, unfortunately. So, but everybody looked good. Like, who I really like in this playoff game, and I wish they were just years younger. They just play with Jaden Daniels. Zach Ertz, man. Zach Ertz
The
was
game.
like pretty freaking good, man. Like he looked amazing. Like got 16 targets and then got 11 catches. Like he's really was like the first down guy. Cause like it seemed like all the other receivers like they was out there early, but then like the rest of the game it was like I'm just throw it to Ertz.
I mean, Ertz is a good tight end. Yeah, like you said, he's just old.
Yeah, that's
He
the
got
only
blackballed out of
thing.
Philly, where in Philly he was elite. So I
And
mean, he still has a chance. I don't know. He might play another year. I mean, I would after the success
yeah,
the team
I
had.
think he should. I think he should play another year because like you have a rookie quarterback where you helping them develop, and then going to the second season, you can still help them develop because you don't want him to go through that sophomore slump too much, where it's like you don't know how that plays out for a lot of people. But the Eagles, man, as much as I dislike the Eagles because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, they really show like all three aspects of the game. Like they're pretty good going into the Super Bowl. And I think this Super Bowl, this time around, I think they're coming in with a different mindset. The going against a foe that they're very familiar with in the Super Bowl. So yeah, man, like it's gonna be a crazy Super Bowl, man. And then finish up last night, man, with the Chiefs and Bills. 32 to 29. Chiefs ran away with the win. Um, I'm gonna be honest, man. It was a lot of close calls for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to complain about the refs, and yeah, there were some questionable calls for sure. I mean, the worthy thing was the first thing where I was like, all right, that could have gone either way. Like, and then the fourth down, like I watching the game, yes, it looked like Allen got across, but it's just too. It's just unfortunate because that happens every single time in the Chiefs game where it's like it's so close. It's just so close. But the Bills, like, you can't even say that the refs like completely threw the game for them. Like they had chances. Like they
No,
had
no,
chances.
no,
Okay.
no. The Bills did have chances. I feel like the Bills kind of put themselves like I feel like the Bills was having their lead on them, but then it was like you didn't, capitalize to score again when they went up 14-10. Then you had to punt, then they score again, and then it was like, damn. And then it was like, okay, I scored. And it was like, okay, so going to halftime, 21-16. Okay. Close game, close game. But I felt like they really should have capitalized. Yep. Like if you have the lead, you gotta find ways to put the game out of reach. But like Mahomes, like I always say, Mahomes gonna find a way to win. Like it's really a way he has to find a way to win. The play calling for the Bills was terrible down the stretch. That's one thing that need to be spoken of because my God, like what are we doing, guys?
Yeah, calling a screen on 3rd and 10, not really.
Like what are we
Got to give
doing?
Josh Allen chances, man. Like, and the Chiefs, like on that fourth down play where the last play of the game for the Bills, like Chiefs are obviously going to send pressure. Like you could see it coming. Like you got to be able to get that ball out quick as hell. Unfortunately for Allen, like the play wasn't set up for him to get the ball out quick because everybody was trying to get that first. Obviously, it's just an unfortunate situation, man. And
Indeed, man.
Mahomes does what he has to do, man. And that defense. I mean, yeah, they allowed 29 points, but like Mahomes used his legs this game, which I haven't seen in since the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
really.
Could that scramble for that second touchdown? I was like, wow.
He can run, man. He can run.
Like people forget about
Not-
that in his game. That's the craziest thing we forget. Like he can scramble to get like yards or a first down if need to be. So it's just crazy seeing that. Like, man, this guy can really do damage on all around or whatnot. But it's like, how do we view Josh Allen now? Like, that's
I
the
mean, a
real
lot of people are
question.
comparing him to like, a James Harden, like a guy that, Harden always was there at the final
The
game
James
before the
Harden
final.
of the NFL. Wow.
Yeah. But like Allen shows up. Harden had some games where he had some games where he showed up, but he also had some other games where he didn't show up. Allen usually always shows up. Like he does his part to get his team to where they need to be. It's just unfortunate. I think the problem for the Bills is they just don't have that elite guy that can get open on any play. Like, yeah, Shakir's a good slot guy, but like Amari Cooper, like they didn't really work him into the offense at all. Like Keon Coleman's a rookie, so I mean they're not gonna, and he wasn't really worked into the offense. Their rushing game is good, but when you're down the stretch, you need that guy. Like you need that Stephon Diggs, man. You need that Diggs that can get open on a 3rd and long and get you the first. They just don't have that right now. And I think that they're going to address that in the offseason. Because I don't know what happened to Amari Cooper. Last year, he was a 1,200-yard receiver, and then he went to the Bills, and they just don't utilize him at all. Like, I don't know
It's
why they don't.
it's it's that, and then like how I kind of look at like the team itself. I kind of look at this because like Amari Cooper wasn't being used none of the playoff games for it. Like he was barely being used. So like I'm not surprised coming into this game he wasn't being like the main target because I feel like playoffs. What makes playoff teams great or what makes like an offense look great or defense look great, it's always the guy you least suspect to make the fucking plays. Like look at that first drive for the Chiefs. Juju Smith Schuster, like long bomb. Wow, I would never had in my cards that Juju was going to go for damn near 20 yards of a catch to set for Kareem Hunt to score. Wow. And that's another good thing I like about the Chiefs this past season. To pick up a Kareem Hunt. When Pacheco went down, now you have Kareem Hunt, where like Kareem Hunt's actually they workhorse with Pacheco for this like
Yeah, they
postseason.
Pacheco kind of took a back seat. It's been Kareem Hunt, which is interesting because Pacheco's younger, but Hunt seems to be, getting that second wave. He looked
Yeah,
pretty good yesterday. He had a couple runs where I was like, all right, man, like he's definitely a little beefier than he used to be back when he was young.
yeah, but
Oh, he
like
definitely put on
you
some
need
weight.
that. You need that type of running style. Cause you gotta tire a lot of
But he's a starting
defenses
running
off.
back in this league, and I think the Chiefs will definitely consider keeping him next year.
Indeed, man. Like they definitely need to keep him, man. But like, man, like now, like look at the Super Bowl matchup. Chiefs versus Eagles part two. It's interesting storylines. You have a team that could go for a three-peat, first time that can happen in the NFL, or we get the Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley get their first Super Bowl together. Like it's great to see any of them play out. It's gonna be interesting if the Eagles win because now the funniest thing that's gonna always be trending that the Giants really gave the Eagles a Super Bowl. Like you really gave them a Super Bowl. And like it's gonna be 10 times funnier now because it's gonna be looking like shake your head like y'all just
Well,
gave them a Super
the
Bowl.
craziest thing is Saquon will break the record for most rushing yards in a season because he only needs 30 yards to break Terrell Davis's record of like I think it's 2,470 something.
Yeah, I think he's like a couple yards, which he could
He's
probably
30
get.
yards. He's gonna get that in
Yeah,
like the
he's
first
gonna get
quarter.
that off like maybe like two series, maybe a series.
Yeah, so
Boom,
he'll
boom.
be. It's just crazy that he went from being on the Giants, looking kind of not washed, but like not himself, and then he comes right to the Eagles and he immediately might break the record for most rushing yards in a single season. Like, damn, like
It's always a
he's
change of scenery,
he's a game
man.
changing player, man. He is. That's what the Eagles needed.
Like you could tell just his presence being there, that culture and
Calming presence.
mindset change. Like that
It's also a
mindset
calming
change.
presence for that team.
Because whenever you think of the Eagles, every time I think of the Eagles, I always think about the running backs they always had, like the Brian Westbrook, like
John McCoy.
yeah, like you need a good running back for an Eagles team. Like
I
you
mean, back
can't.
when they won the Super Bowl, it was LeGarrette Blunt. So
Like it's crazy when you think about it. Like they had LeGarrette Blunt like of on that Super Bowl team. Like it's just crazy, man. Hold on, let me see who else was on that list.
they might have had Darren Sproles as well, or I think they had Darren Sproles. So it was like the 1-2 punch, the power back and the receiving back. And obviously Nick Foles and Alshon Jeffrey and Zach Ertz. And
And that was Dallas Goedert rookie season, I believe.
yeah, Goddard was the
Was it?
backup to Ertz. Yeah.
Was it? No, let me see. I think we go to the previous season. No, that was the next year. This the year they won the Super Bowl. Who was on that roster? Yeah, the Gary Blunt. They still had there. They had Zach Ertz, Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar. Man, that really made not Nelson Aguilar like a big free agent that year. Jesus, man, this is that defense was pretty good though. They had Malcolm Jenkins, Fletcher Cox, Brandon
Brandon
Graham.
Graham. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a pretty good roster.
It's a squad, man. And they got a similar defensive squad this year. They got a lot of young good rookies. Both corners, DeJean and Mitchell. Zach Bond's a defensive player of the year candidate. Like,
But for them to get two rookie cornerbacks, you could tell like it's okay they let Slay go after this season because your future is bright with two corners.
I mean, Slay's old, man.
I mean, Slay did say like he's probably gonna play one more season because he's contemplating on like retiring. which
I'm not
I
surprised.
respect it though. Like, you're getting older, you want to see your kids grow up, man. Like, you ain't trying to play this game forever.
Oh no,
So I respect it. Like,
I respect it.
yeah. But in other news, man, did you see, Shador answering questions, man, at the East West Shrine Bowl, man? Like,
I didn't see him answering questions, but I did see reports that he is. Everybody's like, oh, he's got a crazy arm. Like he's a pro. Like Tennessee loves him. Like,
yeah,
but I've
man.
also seen the same report about Cam Ward. So it's a real it's a toss up. And apparently Shador's got like a crazy good arm, and everybody's like raving about how much of a pro he is and all this stuff. So it's like, but I mean, if it's dude, no matter what, like if he goes to Tennessee, like I don't know, it's gonna take a little bit. Like they don't have much there for him to work with right now, unfortunately.
Nah, another guy that's been doing good in that Shrine Bowl is Kyle McCoy. He been turning some heads too now. Like, that's another guy that's like we should be on the lookout for, man,
I mean,
because
this year, I think this draft, last draft was the draft of the wide receivers. There was a bunch of good rookie wide receivers in the league this year, and I think this year is going to be the running backs. There's so many good prospects. Like you got Judkins, Henderson, LaQuint Allen. Uh, I mean, obviously Genty, like Omarion Hampton, I think his name is from North Carolina. Like there's a there's probably two or three first round backs in this draft. Like there's a lot of guys. I mean Judkins, I think Judkins will be a good pro.
it depends on what like team is gonna. Because see, like this running back class, everybody's gonna want to see Genty go first round. Like that's because always that one. It's always that one like running back every season or every draft class that's like, no, this guy gotta go number one or go like in the first round. Which, these draft prospects, Jenkins could go pretty, pretty up there. Like he could go 32, depending on who's picking around that time. They probably be the Chiefs. But looking at the running backs that's available here that we see in Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, uh, Skybo from Arizona State, Sampson from Tennessee, Caleb Johnson, Iowa. You got other guys as well that's like pretty good too. Like this is gonna be a tough draft class. This might be an underrated year for like the running back position in this draft class.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if teams are gonna. I mean, Genty is a guy that I believe will go first round, but I think the majority of those guys are probably day two picks. Because I mean, you can plug in running backs pretty much anywhere. Like any team can use running backs since they take so much. They take so many hits. Patriots, I wouldn't be shocked if they took a running back though.
I
Not in the
mean,
first round, but
when you look at the team needs, let's see what the team needs got to look at. Like going into this draft, I mean, we have interesting. Like the Patriots, they need a quarterback, a receiver, or tackle, an edge, a corner, a tight end, or a running back. But I think when you look at like teams that's in like desperate need of a running back, Cowboys is going to be one of them.
yeah,
Cowboys is up there who need a running back. Um, I would put the Cleveland Browns up there. I would put the Cleveland Browns up there because I think they probably gonna move on from Nick Chubb, sooner or later. Who else is another team that I think probably gonna have to get a running back or probably gonna consider a running back just in case. Um, that's all I can think of right off the top of my head. The
Raiders.
Giant, mm,
Raiders definitely need a running back, bro.
the Raiders. See, the Raiders is another
Broncos
one.
too. Broncos need a running back. Broncos had no run game, dude. Like, I mean, they had three guys taking carries. They had Williams, McLaughlin, and Estime taking carries. Like, they're a team that I see under the radar, probably take a running back second round. Like, they get like a Judkins or a Henderson, plug them in and put them in starting. Like, if the Broncos have a good run game, they're gonna be dangerous because they already got a good defense. They got and oh yeah, the Broncos also probably need well, I mean Marvin Mims kind of showed up second half of the year, so I mean if they develop him, he could
I
be a good wide
think
receiver.
I think for them, I could see them going on the route of possibly getting like another piece on their defensive side. Their
They could
defensive
do that.
side of the ball could be more their focus because I can see if they go offensively, they're gonna probably try to look for a tight end a little bit. They probably go try to find a tight end later rounds, but their first pick is probably gonna be like their defensive side of the ball because certain teams like they're gonna go defense like the Lions. You look at
Oh
their team, they're
yeah,
going
yeah,
defense.
100%.
Like, because you gotta go defense. They probably gonna get a corner, most likely. They're probably either gonna get a corner or probably get edge rusher, most likely, depending on who's available on that list. Like even with the Browns. That's why I
Bro,
think the
I'm
Browns
not
is
gonna
up there.
lie. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The Commanders could use another running back. Eckler's getting kind of old.
Uh, I
B-Rob's good, but like they can use that 1-2 punch like the Lions have.
I think with the Commanders, I don't think they're gonna need a running back. I think their main focus is mainly going to be they have free agency coming up, and they're going to have a lot of draft like cap salary cap.
Oh
So
yeah.
like I think for them, they're not going to go running back. I think they're going to more work on their defensive side of the ball because that's been like a weak point this season for them.
No,
Where
yeah,
they
I agree. But like they could take a running back in like the fourth or fifth round is what I'm saying. Because
but
there'll
do
be some
they but do they really need another running back? Because like you got Eckler, Robinson Jr., and McNichols already there. Like you already got them three.
I mean, yeah, but like I don't know, man. I feel like Eckler like he's sold in the championship game, bro. Like and he's getting old.
If it's any positional offense, I'm gonna need them to get a solid number two receiver.
Yeah, no, yeah.
They probably get another receiver for Terry. They compliment Terry because you need that and another offensive lineman.
It's facts.
That's all you really need when you come to the offensive side of the ball. Maybe another tight end if you happily fall and have like a good tight end in the position you're at, pick them up if you can.
I mean, the thing is, there's not like too many crazy. I mean, Tyler Warren, he'll go first round. I think he's a first round guy. But like Colston Loveland, I think is in the draft. He's a good tight end. The guy from Bowling Green, I think he's going. Harold Fannin, he was the leading tight end receiver in college football this year, like 1,500 yards or something like that for Bowling Green. But yeah, I mean, you can get a tight end probably third or fourth round. Jets need a tight end, bro. We need a tight end. We have never had a tight end except for like Dustin Keller way back in the day.
You
Like,
know what tight end I kind of like that I feel like could be like a good little steal? That tight end for Syracuse, he actually wasn't that bad, actually. He was all right. Like the LSU tight end, Mason Taylor,
yeah,
he was a good blocking tight end, had some receiving plays as well. Even the Texas tight end, he could be a good one.
Gunnar
Gunningham,
Helmy.
yeah, like he could be a good one for them. And
We'll
then
see. I mean, we'll see, man.
And then speaking of like other things, man, other people that came about, other hirings. I mean, the Las Vegas Raiders hired Pete Carroll as the head coach, general manager. John Spatek from the Buccaneers, assistant GM from them. How you feel about that? Like Pete Carroll coming back?
Surprised the hell out of me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Pete Carroll is the oldest coach in NFL history, apparently. So And there's obviously rumors now circulating. Oh, Russell Wilson could reunite with him in Las
I can
Vegas.
see that. I
That'd be
can
kind of
see
sick.
that. I
But
can
I mean,
see him going back to with Pete Carroll because I think majority of like Russell Wilson's success definitely was with Pete Carroll.
and he's got a good one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah,
Brock
like
Bowers, Jacoby
yeah,
Myers, good receiver. They just got to pick up some more pieces.
indeed, they definitely did, indeed.
Yeah, what about
Um,
that whole Liam Cohen situation? That
that
was
has to be the weirdest thing. I
that was
I
fun.
don't get it. So at first, you're not going to take the job with the Jaguars. You verbally agree, I'm coming back to the Bucks. Then the Jaguars fire their GM. Oh no, I'm gonna drive to Jacksonville and accept the job. Like, what are we doing, man? Like,
I mean, the GM was his break there. He was like, I don't want to play, I don't want to coach under Trent Balake. And they were like, all right, we'll fire him. They were like,
but
fuck it.
but
We'll clean house.
see, Jacksonville is that team where like we don't know what could happen next for them. Like, we don't know what's the long term
They're
plan
so
for them.
volatile, man. Like they were good last year, and then this year they just completely fell off a cliff. It's like, damn, like
I think because like this was supposed to be the year Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be the guy competing for in the AFC South. Like it was supposed to be Lawrence, Richardson, Stroud. Um,
Derek Carr,
I mean, no, not Derek Carr.
Bryce Young, Bryce Young.
No, no, the AFC South. No, I'm talking about the AFC South division.
Oh, AFC South.
And Real Levis. It was supposed to be that supposed to be like your duel for that, which nobody didn't think the Texans was what the Titans was gonna be good. So Titans is out the picture. Everybody thinking, oh, the Texans is gonna leave off like still be good where they left off, you know. But we seen like they had their struggles, but they made to the divisional round. But it's just they had to find their rhythm early. They had to try to find their rhythm early. Offensively, they wasn't as productive as they were last season. Defensively, they was better overall. The Colts, like the Colts themselves was just like shooting themselves in the foot because 1 minute Anthony Richardson said I'm tired. Now he's not the guy. Put Joe Flacco in. Joe Flacco wasn't the guy. Yeah, bring back Anthony Richardson back as the starter. Like, what are we doing, man?
They got to
Like
develop Richardson, bro. He needs development.
he
Like
do.
out of all the quarterbacks, like he's the
Because
most raw pro. Like he has a crazy arm, but he just doesn't have like that. He's not like a quarterback yet. He's just like a guy. He's like a glorified running back there. Like he makes some
mm,
crazy throws sometimes, but like most of the time he's making the wrong read, throwing stupid interceptions, and then tucking the ball, getting himself hurt. Like he's what he's what Jaden Daniels like people want. Like everybody wants people to be Jaden Daniels. Like that's not gonna happen, bro. Jaden Daniels is different.
I'm gonna say this prediction. My prediction is the coach gonna give Anthony Anthony Richardson one more season. They will give him one more season. If he don't show no type of, progression as a quarterback, they moving on. That's my theory.
I just feel so bad for the Colts, man. Like they had Andrew Luck. Like they were spoiled. They had Peyton Manning for years and then Andrew Luck for years. Like they were spoiled with good QBs, and now it's like
And then like you
a bunch
had
of
like a good season with Phillip Rivers.
and Carson Wentz had a solid year with them too.
I don't think Colts fans really would consider like Carson Wentz as a
Oh no, I'm not saying I'm
like
not saying like
yeah
good, but he had an okay season. Like it wasn't like I mean they were close to the playoffs. Like it wasn't like disastrous. Like they weren't like
yeah
2-15. I mean even this year with subpar quarterback play, they still had a chance. Like they had a legitimate chance to make the playoffs. Like they wouldn't win anywhere, obviously, but I mean that division is up for grabs, man. Like, yeah, the Texans had a down year, and I'm sure they'll probably bounce back. But out of all the divisions, I think that and I think both of the AFC and NFC South are two divisions where like you could see a lot of parity there. Like there could be a lot of different division winners. Like, yeah, I know the Bucks have been winning, but like they're barely squeaking out these division titles like by a game or two. Like they're not dominating. And yeah, the Texans dominated, I guess you could say, for the past couple of years. But who knows, man? I mean, the Panthers look pretty promising. Like Bryce Young, second half of the year, they turned it around.
I think because like
And the
now
Falcons too.
you
Like
have to you have to start believing in the younger quarterbacks. And I think the Panthers starting to see like just get some good weapons around Bryce, man. You give him some good weapons around him, he's gonna flourish overall. I think the Falcons need to move on from Cousins.
they will.
I think Penix is your guy. Like
He looked good, yeah, for only two
Michael
games.
Penix is your guy. So like you need to just focus on him. They got cut Cousins. I mean, I can see Cousins being like getting picked up somewhere, you
Oh,
know.
bring him the Jets, man. I'll take him.
Oh no.
I'm kidding. I
Oh
don't want him.
God no.
I don't want him.
God no, that'd be a disaster.
I'm just kidding. I don't want him. I don't know. I don't want
Speaking
another Achilles injury quarterback. No, I'm good. I would, however, take Sam Darnold. I'm not gonna lie.
nah, hell no. Hell no. The reunion, everybody always remembers, man, the sequel of any movie sucks. I do not want to see a part two of Sam Darnold going back to the Jets.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
gonna
for
be
a year. It's just a year rental.
no, because then if
Not like
he
we're
be
going anywhere
trash,
next.
if he be trash, then y'all gonna be the first ones to say, "Oh, he's the same old Sam Darnold." And it's like, see,
He's not. We have better weapons now for him.
all right.
We
But
do.
speaking of former Jets, your old head coach is going back to the 49ers as their defensive coordinator. Um,
Good. Good for him. That's where he.
I'm
That's where
happy. I'm
he needs.
happy for him. I'm happy
That's
for
where
him.
he needs to be. He had the best success there. Don't be a head coach. Just stay in San Francisco. Help them with their defense.
That man says, stay there. Don't ever
Oh,
think
they
about
need
being.
him. He's a good defensive coordinator.
Oh
I
man.
wish hey, listen, I wish Salah all the best. I liked him as a coach, but he just wasn't a Jets. Like it's not a he's not a he can't bring that team out of what they were stuck in. And I don't want him to be a part of that organization. Like our organization is a mess. Like he deserves to be in a place where he can have success. And the 49ers, yeah, they had a down year, but he knows what he's doing over there. And Shanahan obviously was like, yeah, we want him back. Like get him back here. Like obviously means you're doing something right. So
Nah, because you see when he left, like defensively, it wasn't like they were bad. It was just like they were trying to blame the coordinators, but we know who the real fucking reason why they was losing. Fucking Shanahan.
I mean, to be
Shanahan.
fair, like they did lose a lot of guys. Like McCaffrey is like your offense. Like he gets you going. And when he's not in there, it just hurts.
I felt like the year they lost the Super Bowl, they shouldn't fire their defensive coordinator for that.
No.
They should never did that. Cause that's like, okay,
They'll
so
be
you need
back though. Like they're gonna be back. Like they're not gonna they always do this. Niners have like one bad season and then they'll have like three or four great seasons in a row. And Purdy's gonna get his money. Debo needs to wake his ass up and actually play football because I don't know what's going on with him. Brandon
politics,
Ayuk,
bro.
yeah. George Kittle had a great year. Jawan Jennings looking pretty damn good too. Like they got a good squad over there. Ricky Pearsall's young rookie had a few good moments this year. Like they have like four good wide receivers on that team.
And
And
then I was about to say, the Bears getting former Saints head coach Dennis Allen, and then they hired a defensive coordinator. Oh no, they hired him to be his defensive coordinator for Ben Johnson. Dennis Allen, and then
Ben
the
Johnson.
Broncos tight end coach Declan Doyle is the
I
new
respect
offensive
Ben
coordinator.
Johnson for that, man. Like he's trying to like all the Lions players wishing him well and they have no ill will towards him. I mean I think that's good for I think it's especially good for Caleb Williams. because that's what he needs. He needs.
I think it's a perfect match made in heaven, man, for him, man, because I think you bring in a guy, a head coach that, you know, he worked with golf. Golf had two of his best seasons in the league so far with the Lions. And I think, you know, with Jared Goff, I think, you're getting a younger athlete where you got a dual threat guy now. So now you can really push the playbook open, make the playbook open a little bit more for Caleb. But I think it's all about who can they get in the free agency. I think
They need an O line
if
back.
you let Keenan Allen walk, I think the biggest focus is your line. I think you need to really focus on building your line, a good core of a lineman that can protect Caleb. Because I think last season, I didn't think Caleb was a bad rookie. I just think with the line he was given, he only can make what was happening, what he could do. It wasn't like he had bad pieces around him. He just they had no protection.
Well, I think with Ben Johnson there, they're gonna try to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. Like that's what they did with Jared Goff. Like they're trying to get the ball out of his hands as quick as possible, and that's why he's good. Like Jared Goff will make the quick reads, get the ball to the open guy, and let his playmakers make plays. Like they got playmakers. DJ Moore's a playmaker. DeAndre Swift's a playmaker.
Rome, I
Cole
think you
Kmet's
said,
Cole Kmet's a playmaker. Roma
yeah,
Dumba, yeah, young rookie. He's a
yeah, like
playmaker.
it's a great. And then you did say Swift, right? Because Swift is another guy too.
Yeah, I said Swift. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're gonna be destined to be good. I think it's very interesting how he was really coming at Matt LaFleur his introductory press conference because they don't even know each other like that. That's the interesting thing. They don't even know each other, and you
I mean,
already
Matt
starting to
LaFleur is
bounce.
like, I don't know, man. He's all right. It's all right.
I mean,
I mean, you could say that about any coach that's been in a tough situation, though. Like they're all right. Like I'm excited to see how Vrabel does with the Patriots. That should be interesting.
and then you rehire Josh McDaniels. That's one guy who ain't gonna never be out of a job. Josh fucking McDaniels is gonna always find a job somewhere.
Brady, I don't know. Brady made him what he is, dude. I'll say it. Brady made Josh McDaniels what
I
he
don't
was.
know, man. He made Matt Castle a 60 a 30 something, 40 something $1 million quarterback.
That's true.
I mean, I can give it to Brady, but the year Brady went down, McDaniels made Castle look pretty good. He made Kyle Orton look like a fucking good ass quarterback for a little bit when he was with the
That's fair.
Broncos.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
I'm
he
I'm
did
just
draft the Tebow though.
I'm just scarred because of his like he went to he went on to be a head coach and his teams were terrible. So it's like it kind of ruins his rep a little bit. But yeah, he's a good OC. I'll give him that.
I mean, when you look at Josh McDaniels, it's certain coaches that's just better coordinators than
Yeah, Jeff Ulbrich is an
yeah.
example. Jeff Ulbrich's a great defensive coordinator. He's not a coach.
Yeah, like it's certain guys that's like, they're better like
Well, I hope that's not Ben Johnson because Ben Johnson's a great offensive coordinator, but I hope he's just as good of a head coach.
I think uh and it's tough because like just looking at mm, damn this it's crazy, man, because it's just like Josh McDaniels. I think the difference between Ben Johnson and Josh McDaniels, I think when we see his first run with the Broncos, in our minds, it was always going to be like it was never going to work with him as a head coach because he wasn't destined to be no head coach for nobody. And then the Raiders situation was horrible because when you lose your locker room, there's no coming back from that. You can't get mad at a coach when he trying to use the giant. I remember it was hilarious. Like he got mad, like, don't bring up the Patriots. Fuck you worry about them for? Like, but nah, man, I think Ben Johnson will probably do a lot better, to be honest. That's in my opinion. Um, things that tweet that just came out, you know, the Steelers would prefer to sign either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. But they won't likely retain both quarterbacks. Who do you think they should sign?
Fields.
I'm with you there.
Fields, yeah, I mean, Russ is a better, passer per se, but Fields gives him a better chance, I think. Just because of his mobility. And I mean, I think another problem that they need to address is getting another wide receiver because they don't really have outside of Pickens, who needs to clean up some of the stuff he does, but Pickens is talented, obviously. But I mean, if your wide receiver two is Calvin Austin, you need to beef up that wide receiver room. And they can do that in free agency. But I like Fields. Russ, it's just Fields is, obviously he's got youth. That's the thing. And you can develop him. And Fields has some skills that you can't teach. Like his escapability in the pocket. He's a very strong quarterback. Like he can make those runs. I mean, he's Russell Wilson when he was younger could do that. And if we're talking about Russell Wilson in 2012, obviously I'm taking Russ. But now I think it's Fields because I think I'm not gonna lie, bro. I really see Russ going to the Raiders. Like I just see it happening. Like I can see the storylines in like March or something. Oh, Russell Wilson reunites with Pete Carroll in Vegas. I could just see it, and they're gonna give him money. Because Brady. We know Brady and Russ have a good, decent relationship, and Brady's a part owner. So I bet you Brady will throw him some money.
And Brady been like from what I've seen from reports, Brady is definitely the guy in charge right now, trying to make moves for the
Yeah.
Raiders right now. So I think when free agency comes, that can let us know like what direction they're gonna go. I think if they get Wilson in free agency, they're probably gonna draft a quarterback in the later rounds, most likely in the draft. That's why I think in the later rounds of the draft they're gonna
I
get
mean,
a
they
quarterback.
got a pretty good pick, aren't they? Like top, they're
Top
like top.
10.
They're not top five. I thought they were top five
I think they're off for five.
because they're gonna get somebody good. Like they'll get one of those top guys that we've been talking about. So
No, they're not at five. They're at six because Jacksonville's at five.
okay, they're at
They're at
six.
six.
I just because I always think the Raiders as top five because all season everyone's like, oh yeah, Raiders are gonna be a top three pick, and then they won a few games and now they're took themselves out of the top five. But yeah, I mean, the thing about the NFL now is just like I just want to see some parity, man. Like I'm tired of this, Chiefs running the AFC and then the Eagles like obviously it was great to see the Commanders in there because like that's something you never see anymore. Like maybe back in the 90s, like yeah, they were good back in the 80s and 90s, but nowadays it's just the same guys. It's usually 49ers instead of the Commanders. So we'll
I
see though. I mean
mean,
it's just like nobody I just don't see anybody stopping this Chiefs team. Like I just don't in the
it's
near future.
it's just tough because like besides Andy Reid, their defensive coordinator is just as impactful.
Yeah,
You know,
Spagnuolo's a
like
genius.
like if they ain't hiring him as a head coach anywhere, he's gonna stay with the Chiefs. Like Chiefs has like a good system going for them right now. Like they're gonna keep the guys they already have.
I mean,
You
as much
know,
as people want to complain, like they going to three straight Super Bowls, like that's not easy, bro.
I mean, people can complain about the Chiefs winning, but like you really need to get on the guys that got a chance of beating the Chiefs. They gotta step it up. Like Lamar Jackson need to step it up.
The Bengals, bro.
Bengals need to step it up.
Joe Burrow's the only one that's
Josh
beat.
Allen need to step it up. Like these are the guys people need to direct their energy towards. It's not Mahomes' fault that he's going to Super Bowls back to back to back. I think that's the problem. Like people don't want to for they put all this energy like, man, I hate when Mahomes winning. If you don't want Mahomes winning, the guys that got a chance to dethrone him need to step it up in these big games. Like
They don't.
like Lamar don't step up in the big games. Burrow is the only one that beat Mahomes before. That's the only guy that like he just need to get into the playoffs and face Mahomes. Now we're gonna see like a good playoff matchup because that's probably gonna be the game where it's like, oh shit, this is gonna come down to the last possession.
I mean, the Bills and Chiefs games usually do. It's just the
They
Chiefs.
do, but see, Josh Allen don't make that play that can really change the outcome of a game.
I can see that. Yeah.
Like that one play that's like, that play really makes a huge difference. Or nobody on the team makes a huge difference. First of all, I don't understand why they took Cooks out in the game either. That's another weird thing that I noticed in that game too. Like why you took Cooks out? Like well, Cook out. But that's here nor there. Um, I mean, we like briefly through the NBA. I mean, trade deadline is next week. Um, you know
Jimmy Butler, man, that's the only one I'm really
that
thinking about here.
I just want to see who is about to make a massive trade package for him because there's going to be a massive trade package. That's going to be happening if he leaves Miami. It's going to be like a 3-team, 4-team trade type of deal, which I'm gonna be like that.
It's like, where does he want to go though? That's the thing. Like, he'd rather go to the Suns and the Grizzlies. It's so weird. Like, the Suns cannot afford Jimmy Butler, bro. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you don't
Well,
have the
Bradley Bill
assets.
has a no trade clause that he need just waive. Like, just waive it, bro. Like,
No trade clauses are so stupid. It's like you're in a bad situation and you have a no trade clause. Like Carmelo Anthony had no trade clause for the longest time. It's like, bro, why?
man, look, man. All I
I
gotta
mean, I guess
say
it
is
protects you from being traded, but like still.
it's just something because they know when people want to leave, move on from you, they'll move on from you. You know, like they'll try to get you out the door some way, shape, or form. Like you already seen like the Broncos like paying Russell that much money, and it was like, nah, man, we just trying to get him out the building. Like, so,
I mean,
and
I get it. At the end of the day, both NBA and NFL are they're businesses. Like you got to make money. Like you got to put people in the seats, and if your guy isn't doing that, you get rid of him. You get somebody new to try and bring fans in. But I don't know. I mean, NBA is a toss up, dude. It's like who's gonna what team really needs that Jimmy Butler piece to bring them to have a chance to win?
I
It's like
mean, when you look at it, like you're gonna take them to the Western Conference. I mean, the teams I can see Jimmy Butler end up going from the Western Conference will probably be like teams like the Warriors, the Suns. I could see, the Mavs making a pick out of him. You know, a team who I think could fuck around and get him that like I don't think nobody thinking about, but I wouldn't be surprised. The Spurs. Imagine the Spurs get Jimmy Butler. Like that would be pretty interesting.
I mean, yeah, Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, and Wemby. That's an interesting three there.
Like, and it's not like he gonna come in a situation where you got a lazy big man. No, this big man is generational, and you got a point guard who's gonna give you the assist. So they're gonna let you cook. A little different.
I don't know. I feel like Jimmy's always been like the guy on his team, and whenever he wasn't the guy, like he usually leaves. Like in Philly, he's not the guy. He's gone. He was.
Well, Philly's situation was more like the culture there was kind of like I'm catering to Embiid,
Yeah.
and Jimmy was not fucking with like how Embiid was getting this superstar treatment when like he didn't really like do much
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
at that point in time when he was there. Like,
It's
like
an it's very it's an interesting dynamic to say.
Timberwolves, he just didn't like it. He just didn't like being there. He just didn't like playing with Cat. That's just simple as it gets. But if he
I'm
do
not.
get traded to like an Eastern Conference team, I can see them just trade him away to a team that's just trash. Like they'll trade him to the Hornets.
I'm sure.
They be like this, we're gonna send you to the Hornets, man. Finish your career there.
Nah, I mean that's a career suicide going to the Hornets. Like I feel bad for Melo or LaMelo. Because he's just all
I
alone there.
swerve in that corner. Whoa, whoa. Nah, man, nah, I ain't gonna
All
lie,
three of
man.
them are stars, dude. All three
Man,
ball brothers.
nah, man. But tonight's matchups, man. I mean, Pistons going against Cleveland. Cleveland, Rockets versus Celtics. That should be a great game. Um, the
How about the
Magic
Rockets?
versus Heat. Grizzlies versus the Knicks. Whoa.
How about the Rockets though, man? What a crazy season they're having. Their young guys are developing now.
Man, I
Let's
made it
put
to you earlier,
Thompson.
man. I don't think Idoka don't get
Or, I
enough
mean,
credit for being a good coach.
Udoka is a good coach. I mean,
Man, I
he.
don't think he get enough credit, man. I think people think about the negative, but I'm gonna be honest, man. Ime Doka is a pretty good coach. Cause like it wasn't like last season it was horrible. They were just the young guys. Like, he had to see what he was working with his first season.
Amen Thompson. You know, they put him in the starting lineup. He's been playing great. Both Thompson brothers looking pretty damn good. Pistons. Hey, man, I'll say this. I did not expect the Pistons. I mean,
I love Cade.
they're
Cade
not good
is
by any means, but they are much improved from what we saw last season. And Cade, yeah, Cade is an all-star. I don't care what anybody says. That guy is definitely an all-star.
Cade is my by far the guy that like I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad he's sticking with them.
Well, it's
Unfortunately,
crazy because
Jane Ivy is out
yeah,
currently, but like he's really the guy that's like really leading the charge.
Cade. I mean, dude, a lot of people forget, man. Like when he came out of Oklahoma State, like he's a good player, number one pick. I mean, because he was hurt all last year, so everybody's like, oh, everybody forgetting about Cade. But if you think about it, like the past 4 or 5 years of number one picks have been pretty damn good. Besides this, I mean, 2024 was just a weak class, to be honest with you. Like, there really ain't anybody that's like blowing my mind from this rookie class. But I mean, you got Cade, you got Paulo, who's being, you know, carrying that Magic team. I mean, sucks that he got hurt.
Yeah, I
He was,
mean the 2024 class, it wasn't really nobody that stood out.
yeah,
That was the
exactly.
class that like nobody did not know who was gonna be the one because like there was nobody who stuck out. But like 2023, Victor, great pickup. Paulo, great pickup. Pistons, definitely a good pickup. Timberwolves, great pickup. The Pelicans, Zion need to
Questionable.
change the scenery, man.
I mean, Zion plays, like I said, he when he plays, he's
Yeah,
elite.
when he plays, he's great. But when he's like out, it's like I'm kind of questioning like the medical staff in New Orleans.
Yeah, they got so many guys on
Like
IR.
who the fuck is their medical staff? Like, get them the fuck out of here, man. Like, they're just
Their whole starting
horrible.
lineup on the injured list.
Man, all I know is, man, this upcoming draft, man, it's Cooper Flag. That's what it is. That's why you see certain teams tanking. They're trying to get the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, man.
Cooper Flag's tough, man. A lot of people were like, and when he first started playing this year, everyone's like, "Oh, why is he like such a high prospect. Like he wasn't putting up like anything crazy. And then he goes out and drops 42 and everyone's like, "Oh, he's the guy."
I
He's
mean,
had to
it's
settle in.
like I think people forget like you have to make that adjustment from high school to college. I
I
don't
mean,
think people understand like
the
it's
kid's a
just
freak.
like
He's a
man,
freak.
like he was still and the reason why he was number one pick overall worthy is because during that summer he was keeping up with his own
I mean, he's on Team
against
USA as a
NBA
17-year-old.
NBA players
Team
like
USA
all
as a 17-year
stars.
old ain't nothing to, scoff at.
The last time somebody held their own against Team USA was Anthony Davis. That was the last guy I remember being that young.
And look at Anthony Davis now.
Like that's what I'm saying. But hopefully, man, we get good games tonight. But other than that, man, I mean, hopefully, man, we get some potential great, you know, week of games from the NBA. 2 weeks into the Super Bowls in New Orleans, so hey, we got a lot of time to dissect that Super Bowl game between the Chiefs and the Eagles. But we're gonna talk more about it on the next episode, man. But if there's anything, man, continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment, like, subscribe, share with your friend, tell your friend to share it to another friend, so we can get more subscribers out here trying to reach 100, 125, maybe 150, maybe 200. So that's the goal, man. But to end this episode of the Sports podcast here, I'm Chris Ortega.
Tom Bucciferro.
And we will see you next episode.